The Sunset Boulevard and doing all that. I'd love to. Sometimes I think I'm going to go there one day and I think, yeah, finances, you know, limit me slightly. I think I'm going to stick to Spain.
Yeah.
it is local. Well, Nick Mars is on the album as well. I mean, that was a shock for me. Yeah,
it was a shock for us too. You know, the thing was, it was like, you know, we were probably, I don't know, a week or two into the recording of it, and we had just finished Bloodstained Valentine. And we did the vocals and did all the guitars except for the ear candy stuff, like the guitars, the lead parts. So we always do that stuff last. And but it was, I remember what time it was at night or whatever, and our tour manager was, or our babysitter, the mad manager, was taking care of us. So you know, he's like, all right, it's time to eat. You guys get in here and eat and blah blah blah. So we go in and he makes us food. We're sitting at the dinner table, we're eating, and of course we're just talking about music like we just did. And I'm like, all right, so what are we gonna do for the solo for this? And I'm like, I said, what do you, because I always call them guitar solos in my head. That's how I try to make them memorable, and I base that off of Motley Crue leads and Twisted Sister leads and Thin Lizzy leads. They're just memorable. You can whistle them. So that's how I like guitar leads to be. So we're sitting there talking, and I'm like, you know, I'm feeling a Mick Mars vibe on this song a lot. And our babysitter, manager goes, why don't you call him up? He lives down the street. And I was like, no. I was like, I don't know Mick Mars. He goes, I do. He goes, if I get him on your record, give me a pack of cigarettes. And I'm like, all right. So he walks out the door, he comes back, and he goes, you owe me a pack of cigarettes. He'll be here Saturday at 7 o'clock. It was that simple. I'm not even joking, making it up. That's exactly what happened. 7 o'clock that Saturday, he pulls up. His girlfriend walks his guitar in. He comes in, top hat, leather pants, platforms. Still in full character, just Mick Mars. So cool, man. And he walked in, and he was nervous. We were nervous. We didn't know each other. And he just sat down, and we all started talking, and started telling like just real bad taste jokes, and got him laughing. And he was telling us jokes, and he was like, all right, these guys are up my alley. And you know, it wasn't, and we kind of felt like we were all part of a band at one point. And then we go in the studio, and you know, he just cared about what he was doing. He wasn't about money. It wasn't about, he cared about his stamp on what he did. It was more important. And we were there, we just let him do what he wanted. We spent 6-7 hours with him in the studio, just watching the guy work, and he was telling stories, and he was using like a whammy and a wah pedal. Like, I've never seen anyone do it at the same time, like double bass. He was doing to get these sounds and things, and he was explaining how he recorded things, and like how Bob Rock would record things. He held a microphone a little to the left in this corner cabinet. It picked up a better tone, and we were just like, and he's, you know, he's in the room, and he's like playing Motley riffs, and we're just all going, oh, this is bizarre. But it was just such a great thing. He's such a cool guy, and to have Mick Mars play on a record for us was just kind of like, he's the underdog. He's always the guy, and we just never got. Yeah. We never just said hats off to you, man. You did something. You created something, and you are important. And you know, he's one of the villains of rock and roll. Yeah, I already. You know, I mean, and you know, to have him on our record was one of the coolest things ever. And to sit in the center and watch him playing guitar to songs that I wrote is insane to me. You know? Yeah. It blows your mind. So very, 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 very cool experience.
So it doesn't end there though. I mean, you had Chris Harris as well. I mean, to produce the album.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, you went in a swamp and came out smelling roses.
Well, the cool thing about Chris or Zeus, I didn't know Zeus prior to the album at all. And Joey's, you know, Joey's the ears when it comes to producers, and he's done a billion things over than I have. So he called me and goes, "Who do you want to produce the record?" And I said, "That ball's in your court. You tell me. I don't give a shit." You know, I was like, I have people that I like or whatever. I was like, I'm going to take your word for it because you know how to work in the studio. Because I learned all the good things I've really learned about the studio prior to getting into this record, I learned from Joey. I learned all the positive things. I learned everything, like how to do it right. I learned all the mistakes I made before with all my old records. And just the learning curve I got with him, you know. So when he said, "Who do you want?" I said, "It's your call." And he's like, "I want my buddy Zeus to do it. I work with him on 3 Inches of Blood. You know, and he's a heavier producer." But he goes, "But he wants to break out of that and get into some stuff." He goes, "He loves the same stuff we do." He goes, "Trust me, you'll love it." I said, "Convinced." First day we show up at the studio, Zeus walks up. He goes, "Hey, Wednesday, it was nice to meet you." He's a total cool guy. And he goes, "Look, man, I know we didn't talk before. He goes, but are there any records you want me to listen to? Anything to, you know, to get in the feel of what you want?" And I said, "I don't want you to listen to anything." I said, "I want, when me and Joey we all go in the studio, listen to us talk. Yeah. Don't listen to a record to get a vibe. Don't listen to a record to get a tone of a drum or a guitar." I was like, "Listen to us. We're in these 4 walls, and this stays in these 4 walls. We can talk about influences. We can talk about this might remind us about this, but it was like, And it was, and he went, he goes, that's the coolest thing anyone's ever said to me. And I was like, and then me and Zeus became really good friends. And he pushed me and pulled things out of me that I didn't think was possible. Joey as well, they both were just like, which I love, you know. For a vocalist, that can be frustrating for people when they're sitting there staring at you and going, that sucked, do it again. You know, and I got thick skin. I don't let anything bother me. Yeah, it did suck. I can do better. And those guys pulled some stuff out of me that I didn't think was possible, and they were even like, whoa, I've never heard you sound like that before, you know. And like when we first did Chapel of Blood and I was doing that, you know, that was a different thing for us. And, you know, so when they first heard that, because Joey had demoed the music for that, we wrote that in the studio, just on the fly. He's like, I got this riff in my head, I want to track it real quick. I don't have any lyrics, I don't know anything about it, just I want to track it real quick. And and while I'm gone, write lyrics for it, because he was doing Rob Zombie practice. So he left me like a rough version of it. I took it, burned it on a CD, put it on my iPod, went and took a long shower, and I wrote the lyrics for Chapel of Blood in the shower. I was writing the lyrics on because it fogged up. That was kind of, and it was awesome. And it came right to me. And he comes back from rehearsal with Rob, and I'm like, dude, this song rules. I said, you're not gonna believe what I did with it. He's like, I can't wait. So we go in the studio, and I lay the vocals down. And it was just like, they were like, holy shit, I've never heard you do that kind of stuff. So it was a cool thing. It was a really, really cool recording experience.
Well, when you I don't know, when you walk in the street or something, or you've just experienced one of the best things that you've in your life that you've just experienced, not just the studio, just in everyday life. Do you think, oh my goodness, I've got to write this down, and just to put it on paper, and then
to remember these things?
Yeah, and then write a song around the. I mean, because obviously the music comes first the majority of the time. But do you ever take the time and think, actually, I'm going to write lyrics. I'm going to write a song, the music around these lyrics. Do you ever do that?
Yeah, I did that. Like, and it's sometimes to my memory. So my memory's either it's hot or cold. I can remember everything, or it's just like I have no clue what you're talking about. But like when I'm home, you know, I hear people just say random stuff like through a hallway or you know, on TV and this stuff. You know, like in one of my solo songs, for example, the Faith in the Devil song. I think I heard someone say that on TV. I don't think they said that. But I went, that sounds cool. Faith in the devil, faith in the devil, faith in the devil. All right, write that down. Faith in the devil. Grab my guitar.
Is it fun?
Yeah. Grab my guitar. Faith in the devil. I was like, okay. And that's how sometimes songs come from just a title, you know. And that's what gets me started. That's the hardest part for me is getting that first little title. From there, it's cake. It's easy. Downhill from there.
You're loving this with the medals, aren't you? I mean, look at you. I mean, I'm not saying you're a horrible personality, because it's not your
no, you've seen me in probably, you've interviewed me I don't know how many times, you know. So you've seen me different bands, different levels. You've seen me in Out of My Mind probably.
I've seen you in the Bad Movements as well.
Yeah.
A very nice interview.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, you know, this just goes through the things that, you know, has happened over these past, you know, 5-6 years of touring and all that kind of stuff. And you know, like for me, you know, I do things a lot different. Like, you'll see a different Wednesday 13 tonight than you have. Like, I've combined everything I've done, and it's a whole new thing. Like, I don't, you know, for me, like, I used to, before I'd go on stage, with Murder Dolls, Wednesday 13. I'm not saying I wasn't into it, but when you know, you're 6 weeks into a tour, and you've been on tour for, you know, 6 months prior to that, and you're going, you look at your stage clothes, and you're like, ugh, you're twiddling on, and you're just going, it's like going to work, you know, and you lose that fun vibe sometimes. But usually when you go on stage, it comes back with the fans. What I've found myself doing now is I make myself get in the zone 2 hours before, and I go, this is why I'm here. I'm not here to fucking party. I'm not here to, I'll drink, I'll do whatever I want, but my priority is to put on the best show I can. And I didn't have that mentality years ago, and now it's all about the show. I don't care about anything else. Oh, we go to a party last night. Nope, this show's too important for me. This is, you know, and I'll hang out 4 in the morning and sit on the bus. I don't go out and do crazy shit anymore. I know why I'm on tour, and I appreciate it every day, and I want to give the best show. When people walk away and go, holy fuck, wow. Well, not holy fuck, what did this do? And I did shows like that. I don't like that.
Well, I can honestly say, I've never seen you do that. I've never seen you on stage, so